Hello, good evening, and good morning. Hello, welcome back to another TV Doctor Who review. We're going to do a quick disclaimer sort of thing, and then we'll move on to the video. First of all, this channel will be changing slightly. Going to be staying as Mimir Gaming, but I'm going to be focusing in on more card games and tabletop gaming stuff. I'm going to be trying this out for a while. Because as you know, my channel has been sort of very sporadic, not finishing complete series, not really having a draw. But the one thing that's been pulling in the views has been my card gaming and my tabletop gaming stuff. Brilliant. So after I finished the series of Doctor Who reviews and things, I will be moving on. I will be dropping the gaming aspects of video gaming and, the reviews and even the TV reviews and stuff like that. Going to kind of drop that down and focus in on card games and stuff like that. So, I hope you guys, if you are a fan of card games and want to learn more, please stick around. I'm going to be doing more videos on them, talking more about them, doing videos on, doing more vlogs about my views on like sets and stuff like that, and it'll all come through. So don't worry, the channel name's staying the same, and the side, I like Mimir, so I'm going to keep that with him. We're going to keep with him as my little mascot. I will have to get that. I will have to change some other things, but that will be something to sort in the future. I may come back to it. I probably will with like newer game releases and stuff like that. But just heads up, deck lists and, gaming content will be my focus. So let's move on to the review of, I forgot the name, the new episode of Doctor Who. Not a bad episode. I generally thought it was okay. It wasn't the worst. It wasn't as bad as last week's, but overall I did enjoy my time with it. I'm not a fan of how we're moving away from more sci-fi and are focusing on the sort of magical elements of the series. Again, I don't like that there's no explanation. It's just magic. Having these characters interact with gods and stuff, like Anansi's daughter, I'm not a fan of. Truthfully, I like the idea, and even the Doctor was like, I played games with a bunch of these gods. I'm like, why are you saying this? I think keeping mythology as mythology, or at least trying to explain it as aliens or something else, would have worked better. I'm not a fan of this whole thing, but if this is the direction the series is going to go in, I guess I've got to take it at its own merits. So, first of all, best character in this episode was Ncuti. Oh my god, Ncuti it's really annoying that we've got to a point where Ncuti, I think in this episode, he's really got his character of the Doctor. In the past couple episodes, I have felt like he's still trying to work the character out, but this one, I feel that he's got the character, he's got the way he wants to play the character, and I love it. I love the character that he's created for the series. I love him as the Doctor, but again, we're not going to get him next, and I think it is a disappointment that the last two Doctors that we've got have been a failure. Jodie Whittaker and Ncuti Gatwa failing to bring in an audience. And I generally think it's mostly just because people don't really like changes to a long-running series that they have put a lot of hours and time into. Especially, and the change of going from Peter Capaldi to Jodie, I feel was just too dramatic. I generally, weirdly enough, I think if they swapped having Ncuti Gatwa and then Jodie, I think that might have been a bit better. We might have not seen too bad of a switch. I actually generally think Ncuti would have worked better in Jodie's episodes. I think if you swap them, I think their episodes would actually work a little bit better, with Ncuti working with more of the gang, and then having a one-on-one with what's her face, Bella, which I can see that. So the episode itself has it's set in a body shop, and I love the fact that they're focused in on the main theme of this episode was stories hold power. I love that. I love that. That's such an awesome concept. They're on sort of in a barbershop that turns out to be a spaceship, and they've got to tell stories. Not a fan of how they've done it. Like, he's a barbershop. Like, when you need to tell a story, your hair grows and then you shave it. Not really a fan of that. I thought it was a bit goofy, but I do like the concept of stories holding power. That's a really cool thing, because again, stories hold a lot of power. When you read a book, you're brought into the world. You have emotional reactions when you read a book. I generally and I love that. I absolutely love it, and also showing the family dynamic of a barbershop, which, if you don't know, these the type of barbershops they're showing off do feel like families. There are massive. There's basically communities all based around these barbershop places, and it's such a wholesome area. I think I did go into one at one point because I was in a random play. I was in Africa at the time, I think, off the top of my head, or I think I might have been in America. But I had to go into one of these barbershops to get a haircut, and it was such a lovely experience. But they were a bit hesitant around me, you know. White British, but they were lovely people. There's such a atmosphere, and they such an atmosphere that I love, and they nailed it in this episode. The true villain of the episode was a little bit fall flat with Anansi's daughter and the guy who I cannot remember the name. I think he said his name, but he rattled off a bunch of names of like different gods, saying, "I'm Loki, I'm this and this and that." And I think it just lost something in there. But overall, I think they were okay. I wouldn't say that they were brilliant and they carried the episode, but I did, at least I enjoyed my time with the episode. I think the fact that I've actually enjoyed an episode lately has, you know, a thing. Again, the best episode of this season was Mr. Ring-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding. No, it wasn't fucking Ring-a-ding. It's Lux, that's it. With Lux being one of the best episodes of the season. And this actually coming in a close second. I think these two, Lux and this episode, are the best episodes of the season. And it's just, and Midnight coming in at third at the moment. I think we are getting, you know, there is a sort of, there are good episodes and there are bad episodes, and it is disappointing to learn that this is the last season of Doctor Who. But if we can go out on a bang, hey, we can go out on a bang. That would be really good. Or even let us at least finish on, I'm hoping we have at least a Christmas special. Just finish on a Christmas special. Make it, you know, a tradition of Doctor Who is finishing on a Christmas special, and we'll be happy. But overall, this episode had a great message. CGI was a bit meh, but again, Doctor Who has never been the pinnacle of CGI. But the barbershop sort of location was actually really nice. It felt homely. It felt really nice. I really liked the look of it. It was very gringy and dirty, and, you know, dirty is not, no, I wouldn't say dirty. You know what I mean? Like, it's been well looked after is the better word. But, you know, over time you've sort of missed, you know, you've missed a spot in the corner and it's got a little bit dusty. You know, that sort of, you can tell the place has been loved, but it's not been kept, the same consistency of love, if you get what I mean. I'm not saying it looks bad, I'm saying, but overall, I think this episode was brilliant. I really did enjoy myself. I'm excited. I'm actually more excited to see where Ncuti Gatwa goes after Doctor Who. I would love to see where he goes. I think one of the shows that he was in was Sex Education, and he was in that, and apparently he was very good. I've never watched Sex Education, so maybe that might be a series that I jump on to go to actually, you know, see more of his work. This is a lot longer episode, a lot longer video than last week, because last week I was just in a foul mood because that episode was god awful. I know it was a bit rough, but I know I sound ill at the moment, but I'm pretty good. But yeah, I'll talk about that in another video. But yeah, if I was to rate this episode, I'd give it a good 7, you know. It wasn't up there with like some of the best episodes, like the 11th Power and the Atraxi War and all that stuff. Atraxi War? Not a tracksuit war, fucking, oh, what the fuck was that name? Oh, it's annoying me now. It was the one with the war speech. I'm trying to sing. I need to go play that like Doctor Who Whovian game that like gives you a piece of the episode, and you have to like work out what episode it is. I should play that at some point. Probably not on stream, but hey. Anyway, juice before you ask. I don't drink, but I do have this really nice mug. Anyway, gonna call it here because, like I said, great episode. If you are a fan of Doctor Who, don't watch this don't watch this season. Don't watch the last couple of seasons. I generally think it has been a bit of a shit show, but this is a upside, and I at least I'm enjoying some of the episodes, and it is kind of bringing me back every episode. And this series needs as much, viewers as possible, because I've seen the viewer statistics, and it has been quite bad. It has not been good for the series. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, and ta-ra.